My name is Callie.
And I'm Taylor, and I'm so excited that you've tuned in today. This month, we're talking about grit. Grit is refusing to give up when life gets hard.
That seems pretty important, right? I mean, all of us have to face tough things from time to time, but we don't have to face them alone. We know that God is with us and God can help us hold on when we face challenges in life.
No matter what we face in life, we can always run to God and know that God is there to help us. Let's thank Him for His love for us by worshiping with our singing and our giving. When we sing with our voices and give what we have, we show God that we love and trust Him. There are lots of ways that you can give at Sun Valley. You and your parents can learn more at give.sv.cc. Come on and jump to your feet and let's sing this out together.
Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your You are the one, the only one who's always faithful and true. Nobody else compares, there is nobody like you. Oh, and I can't stop thinking about how amazing your love is, amazing your love is. I can't stop giving it out, I was made for this. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. I wanna love the way you love. I wanna see the way you see. I wanna give the way you give, because the love that you've given to me. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go, I'm reaching out for someone just like you do for me. You give your life for free. Everywhere I go, I can't stop sharing your love. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go. Everywhere I go.
Thank you guys for worshiping with us. Go ahead, take a seat, and get comfy. Today's true Bible story is about a guy named Joseph. Some very good things and some very, very hard things happened in Joseph's life. Let's watch this and find out how he learned to trust God no matter what.
Welcome to Story Lab. This week we're talking about grit, while we take a look at the story of someone with a very colorful wardrobe. Oh, and this happened. Hey, I'm Amaya,
And I'm Zeke.
and we are here to talk about grit.
I think there's some confusion about what grit really is.
Well, grit
Is
is...
grit a delectable breakfast dish from the American South?
No, grit is actually...
Grit is refusing to give up when life gets hard.
Yes, and you need grit whenever you're facing any kind of difficult challenge. Like when you're learning how to do something new, like riding a bike or a skateboard.
Or when you're dealing with a hard subject in school like social studies.
Yeah, or science or art.
Art's not hard.
It is if you're not an artist.
True.
Sometimes you need grit just to get through everyday life.
Also true.
So let's put that to the test with today's super cool experiment that uses both science and art. It's magic milk.
1, 2, 3.
Let's make it. We're making magic milk. Tell them what we've got here, Zeke.
Of course, we've got a glass pie plate, food coloring, dish soap, cotton balls, and of course, the milk.
All right, so the first step into turning this regular milk into magic milk is to...
The first step is to open the bottle. Here, you need some help.
No, wait, no, I got it,
Here,
I got it.
just
I got it, I got it.
Oh, no. Wait. No. I am so sorry.
It's okay. There will be no crying over this. We are refusing to give up.
Yeah, grit.
Paper towels, please?
Yeah.
Ah, resourceful. Okay, so magic milk. Step 1, pour a small amount of milk. All right, is that good?
Looks good to me.
Step 2, squeeze drops of food coloring into the milk.
Do you need any?
No, it's fine, I just... What is wrong with you? You know what? Let's just skip this whole thing. It's time
The
for...
story.
No. Keep going.
Fine, you do it.
Step 2, squeeze food coloring into the center of the milk. Step 3. Place a cotton ball covered with dish soap into the milk.
Whoa.
Nice. Let's get that again. You want to know why it happens?
Go on.
You see, whole milk has all these fat molecules, but when dish soap is dropped right into the middle, the soap molecules race around, bonding with all the fat molecules, creating a giant swirl of color. Well,
Still green. But now it's time for
The story before the story.
Today, we're in the very first book of the Old Testament, Genesis. God created the whole amazing world, but people turned away and broke their relationship with God.
still, God had a plan. God called Abraham and Sarah and promised to bless the whole world through their family.
Abraham and Sarah had a son, Isaac, who had a son named Esau and a son named Jacob. Jacob had 12 sons.
Including the next to youngest, Joseph. And Joseph is the hero of our story.
And go.
Hey everyone!
Hey, Ryan.
Oh boy, you better strap in because we are in for a bumpy ride with Joseph. Joseph was second youngest in the family, and he was his father Jacob's favorite son. Jacob gave Joseph a beautiful, expensive, colorful robe. Joseph started having dreams, and he couldn't keep them to himself. He had to tell his brothers.
We were harvesting grain, and all your grain bundles bowed to mine. And in my other dream, the sun and moon and stars bow to me. That's like Mom and Dad and you guys.
Great way to make your big brothers like you, huh? Joseph's brothers were very jealous of him. So when Joseph's dad sent him to check up on his brothers out in the fields, they snapped.
Here comes that dreamer.
Let's get rid of him. No, don't harm him. Just throw him in this empty pit.
And that's exactly what they did. They threw him in a pit. They were still deciding what to do with Joseph when a group of traders heading for Egypt showed up.
Let's sell him to these traders.
Joseph was sold by his very own brothers. His brothers even lied and told their father Joseph was dead.
No way.
Uh-huh. Can you imagine? Joseph was a teenage kid on his own in a foreign country, sold into slavery. He was sold to a man named Potiphar, captain of the king Pharaoh's guards. Joseph didn't know anyone, didn't speak the language. He could have given up, but God was with him, even in Egypt. Joseph worked so hard and did so well that over several years he gained Potiphar's trust. Eventually, Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his entire estate. Things were finally looking up for Joseph, until they fell apart. Again. Potiphar's wife was sneaky, and she wanted Joseph to do something wrong. When he refused, she threw a tantrum!
He tried to hurt me.
Throw him in prison!
Now, Joseph was on his own, enslaved in a foreign land, and in prison. Yeah, it was time for him to have an epic pity party, right? I mean, that's probably what I would have done. But Joseph was still growing. He'd come a long way from that overconfident kid who had boasted to his brothers. God was with Joseph, even in jail. Joseph still worked hard, taking care of chores, helping other prisoners. The man who ran the jail was so impressed he put Joseph in charge of everything. One day, 2 brand new prisoners arrived, straight from the royal palace. The Pharaoh's royal baker and his official drink taster. Joseph made sure they were comfortable. Well, as comfortable as you can be in jail. But one morning, both of these guys showed up at the breakfast table looking pretty upset.
Why do you look so sad today?
We both had dreams. But no one can tell us what they mean.
Only God knows what dreams mean. Tell me what you saw.
Ah, now we're back to where we started, right? With dreams. The drink taster told of seeing a vine that budded and grew bunches of grapes. And then the drink taster squeezed the grapes right into Pharaoh's cup.
Pharaoh will release you from prison and give you your job back.
Yes!
When he does, please put in a good word for me.
Well, after this, the baker was excited to hear about his dream, where baskets of bread sat on the baker's head and birds ate the bread.
Pharaoh will release you from prison and have you killed.
What? That's pretty awful news to have to give someone. But it happened just as God had revealed to Joseph. In 3 days, the baker was killed. But the drink taster was released from prison and given his job back.
Now the drink taster will remember to tell Pharaoh about me and I'll get out.
So, you think the drink taster remembered?
Yep.
Nope. So, Joseph was still stuck alone, in a foreign land, in prison, forgotten. But even then, God was with him. The end. For now.
Wait. You can't leave us hanging like that.
Yeah, things got better for Joseph, right?
Well, I don't want to give the whole story away, but spoiler alert, God used Joseph in a big way. And fast forward hundreds of years later, God would use Joseph's family to bless the whole world through Jesus. But none of that happened right away.
So, what's our part in the story?
Well, just like for Joseph, there are going to be days when things don't work out neatly for us.
Maybe you missed the bus.
Or you spill the milk. Or food coloring explodes on you.
Or anything bad happens that you don't expect. Even in the hardest, darkest place, God is still with you. Even when you can't see it, God is still at work.
So, we can hold on and keep going.
And choose a good attitude.
By George, I think you've got it.
See you next time.
So here's the thing.
Hold on, because God is with you.
And that is what gives you grit.
Thanks for joining us in the Story Lab. See you next time.
I need grit.
Wow, Joseph's life sure did have a lot of ups and downs. He could have felt like God didn't care, but he trusted God. He kept holding on because he knew that God was with him. It would take some time, but eventually God used Joseph's family to bless the whole world. Jesus, God's own son, would be born into Joseph's family line. It is important for us to remember, hold on because God is with you.
We have a really awesome memory verse for this month. These are the Apostle Paul's words in Galatians 6:9. Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Our friends are here to teach us some motions to help us remember our verse. I think we've been sitting long enough. Let's stand up and learn this together.
Hey there, my name is Sarah. And I'm Tiffany, and we're here to practice our memory verse of the month with you. It comes from the book of Galatians, chapter 6, verse 9, and it says this: Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9. Let's do that one more time. Let us not become tired of doing good. At the right time, we will gather a crop if we don't give up. Galatians 6:9. Great job, guys. We'll see you later. Bye.
Great job, friends. Go ahead and take a seat. As we think about Joseph's story, it's important to remember that God is with us through the ups and the downs of our lives. There will be amazing days in our lives when it seems like everything is going great, and then there will be some days when it doesn't go the way that we thought it would. But you can believe that God is always with you and that God is still working in your life. Let's take some time and pray. God, thank you so much for the story of Joseph. Thank you for the ability to see that you are with us no matter what. God, I pray that as we go throughout our week, we can remember to look to you and remember that you're with us no matter what. God, we love you so much and we trust you, and it's in your name I pray. Amen.
Amen. Thanks so much for being with us today. Have a great week, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram at SVKids to see what's happening in and around our church. And subscribe to our YouTube channel, Sun Valley Kids, for all of our latest videos and content.
We'll see you next week.
Bye!
Hey, I'm Lawson, and today I've got a great story about grits. Let's check them out. For those of you who have never met this humble breakfast food, you could call it corn oatmeal or mushy popcorn. But it's never gonna beat out Fruity Loops. Now, the best way to make sure your grits go down is to add a lot of butter.
Grit, Lawson, not grits.
G-R-I-T, grit?
Yes.
Hey phone, look up the definition of grit.
Grit, firmness of character, indomitable spirit, pluck.
Right. New story. This one's about a kid named Caleb who's in the cross-country club my dad coaches. Caleb and his brother Liam are supposed to go camping with their dad this weekend. They've made a grand plan to hike all the way to the site, pitch our tent, cook foil dinners, and check out the night sky, where they'll get to see every star in the galaxy. They've got their boots laced, caps on, and bear repellent at the ready. But then, Mom gets a text. Your dad can't go. He has a work thing. Dad will reschedule for next month. Or decade. Caleb's ready to throw in the towel. He makes a brand new grand plan to lie on the sofa and play 47 levels of Fortcraft while eating 74 bags of chips. But then Caleb sees Liam's face like the world's saddest puppy. And Caleb realizes that even though they're both super disappointed, he's got a chance to show Liam a better way. So he digs down deep and he leaps off the sofa. Caleb forges a path into the wilds of the backyard and sets up his old tent. But then he gets Mom to help build a totally awesome fire pit and invites Liam to forage for dinner. They end up making s'mores with 74 marshmallows each. And even though the sky is hazy with lights, Caleb downloads a cool app that shows where every single star and planet is. Caleb's still really disappointed, but he's proud he could show Liam how to keep going, even when things get tough. So kids, if you're looking for a new breakfast routine, skip the corn grits and try a s'more. And always remember this, that real grit is refusing to give up when life gets hard. I think I like that. Oh, it's so good.